to have an interest in who's there.
Is the NFL scripted? And I'm going to yell it a little louder because I don't think you heard me. Is the NFL scripted or is it not?
Absolutely. There you go.
Okay. Now that we got that out of the way, so you're a flat earther, NFL scripted.
No,
So we're going all the way that way. All
I'm
the
not
way
getting
with
into all the other
conspiracy theory.
conspiracies, but sometimes when you start labeling yourself sports entertainment and there's billions of dollars on the line, I don't believe there's not some people, blowing some wind in the sail to make the boat move, if that makes sense.
Welcome to Big B Daily. No frauds allowed.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Big B Daily. We appreciate everybody here. This is your man, Brien Hanley, or Big B. What is going on? We are live on TikTok. We're live on YouTube. What is happening, everybody? What is happening? Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate it. We got a good show. Got a lot of stuff to go over today. Again, as always, live on TikTok, live on YouTube, talking a little LeBron and the Lakers, that 21-point comeback that they had last night over the Clippers. And the Clippers are playing well. Caitlin Clark, she's breaking more records, doing it again. And will the 49ers suffer? Are they going to suffer a Super Bowl hangover? A lot of that and more. Let's get it going. As always, everybody that's on TikTok, we appreciate it. Keep tapping the screen. We need at least 5,000 likes, 30 new follows. So if you're in here and you're not following, please give us a follow. We appreciate it. Thank you, guys. And over on YouTube, you can also click on the YouTube link and come on over to YouTube. We appreciate that. Come on over. Subscribe to YouTube over on the channel. We appreciate it. Let's get this thing going, man. So, YouTube, TikTok. Last night, LeBron James and the Lakers come back from 21 points down. They're getting their head beaten in the fourth quarter, and they come back to win. LeBron catches fire, and he ended up winning the game. So, I don't know. Like I said, I know there's people that hate LeBron. I know there's people that love LeBron. There's no in between. It's not, hey, LeBron is okay. I like LeBron, but I don't think he's the greatest. There's none of that. It's, I love him. He's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Appreciate the gift, Zach. Or it's, I hate LeBron. I hate everything about him. I can't stand him. Which to me is always weird because how do you hate somebody you never met and you're never gonna meet? But whatever the case may be, last night it was great. So, see, we already got it. Somebody over on YouTube is already LaFraud. My man Maurice. What's going on, Maurice? Tell us how LeBron is a fraud. You may not think he's any good, but tell us how he's a fraud. I'm just interested. So, it's crazy. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, man, people hate that guy. Whew. Brutal. But it is what it is. It was a great comeback last night. LeBron caught fire. The Clippers gave the game away. They couldn't stop him. Just couldn't stop him. And like I said, whether you love or you hate LeBron, last night was impressive. It was impressive. There's nothing fraudulent about it. So there's nothing fraudulent about it. So my man Bill Kernan says he can't stand, or I can't stand the GOAT conversation with LeBron. I don't know why you can't, but okay. Everybody, we can agree to disagree. He's got to be in the conversation. Whether you think he's the best or not, he's in the conversation. Let's not be stupid. Let's not go that route. We don't have to like it. We don't even have to think he's the best. But to say that he's not even in the conversation, well, then there shouldn't ever even be a conversation about anybody. So I don't have a favorite NBA team, Purcell. I never did. I didn't grow up with a favorite NBA team, and as I've gotten older, that hasn't changed. I don't have a favorite NBA team. I like players. I love players, but I don't like NBA. I don't have just, okay, I love the Miami Heat, or, I love the Lakers or the Mavs. Now, I root for the Mavs because I live in Dallas, so I root for the Mavs, but I'm not heartbroken if they lose. So, like if the Steelers lose, I'm heartbroken. Distraught. I want everybody fired. Everybody fired. But if the Mavs lose, I'm like, okay, they did their best. So I get it. But yeah, it was impressive what the Lakers were able to accomplish last night. I mean, the Clippers are playing good basketball. Now, Paul George was out, so there's that. Paul George is out, but they're playing good basketball, and they were playing good basketball until the fourth quarter. They let LeBron get on a roll. That carried over to the rest of the Lakers, and boom, boom, there we go. So boom, boom, there we go. Here's a good comment over on YouTube, said LeBron is the toughest superstar to be a fan of. Yeah, I agree. Because as much as we love LeBron, or people love LeBron, he does and says things sometimes that are just silly. And it's just like, okay, man, what are you doing? What are you doing? So I get it, but man, is it difficult sometimes. It is difficult sometimes to be a fan of LeBron. So then my man Maurice, he says he always comes up with games that count and doesn't even show up when it doesn't. I have no idea what you mean by that. He comes up in games that count and doesn't even show up when it doesn't. What? He plays good against trash teams and bad against good teams. That's just not true. So we're going to leave it at that. And we're just going to leave it at that. Maurice, just say you don't like LeBron and you don't have a good reason, my guy. And it's okay to say that. But you can't just make up stuff because what you're saying isn't true. It's just not true. You can't make up stuff that just isn't true. Just say you don't like LeBron. I don't really have a good reason. I just don't like him. It's okay to say that. But making up stuff to try to make it be true, that's weird to me. I mean, we're all adults. You don't have to like somebody just because somebody else does. But then again, we're all adults. We shouldn't just make up something to not like them. Just say you don't like them, my dude. We're all good. For instance, for me, people that I don't like the Dallas Cowboys. I don't really have a good reason other than I like to see their fans suffer when they lose. But I don't like the Cowboys. That's it. And like I said, that's not a good reason. Did the Cowboys do something to you? No. Are the Cowboys your rival? No. I mean, has a fan ever done anything to you? No. But I love to see their fans suffer. Now, that's not really a good reason not to like the Cowboys, but to me, it's funny. So that's why I don't like them. My man Julius, come on, man. You know I don't like the Cowboys. But that's my thing. And it's okay to say that. Just like, hey, man, I'm a hater. I am a Dallas Cowboys hater. No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm a hater. When people, you're being a hater. Yes. And when people call you a hater, I think people need to start just accepting that and just saying, yeah, I am. Because I guarantee you know what happens next? They will shut up. If hey, man, you're being a hater. Yeah, I am a hater. So that's what haters do. We hate. They won't say anything to you after that. What? That's exactly what you'll get from them. It's all good, man. It's just, if people just had more fun with this whole sports thing, we would be better. I think if people had more fun with this LeBron, Kobe, this whole GOAT debate thing, which I don't dive into because I think it's ridiculous. But if people just had more fun with it, they take it so personal. Oh my God. It's just so personal. And I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get why everybody gets so mad. It's just, you have your opinion. Okay, I have mine. Well, you're wrong. Well, okay, I might be wrong to you, but I think you're wrong. And leave it at that. People don't leave it at that. They gotta be right. They gotta be right. It's just like yesterday. Look, I'm a LeBron fan. I don't hold or pull any punches. I don't deny it. I am a LeBron fan. I'm also a Michael Jordan fan. I had all the Michael Jordan posters on my wall as a kid. I'm a Michael Jordan fan. And it's almost like you can't be a fan of both. And I'm like, well, why the hell can't we? I grew up and I loved Michael Jordan. But as an adult, I like LeBron James. I like Kobe Bryant. My favorite player of all time is Larry Bird. Why can't you just like everybody? It's okay. It's okay. And then people are like, well, how can you be a fan of Larry? What do you mean, Larry? Hey, I think Larry Bird is great. I think Larry Bird can play in all eras. Not only that, Larry Bird grew up an hour and 10 minutes from where I grew up. So that's why I'm a Larry Bird fan. Period. End of story. Period. End of story. Oh, it's like Maurice. The fact remains that he's 4-6 in the finals. Does that mean he's not any good? If you're 4-6 in the finals, does that mean you're not good? Because you got to the finals 10 times, and getting to the finals is an accomplishment. Now, is it the ultimate accomplishment? No. But getting there is an accomplishment. But does that mean, okay, you're 4-6, you're not very good. You won 4 titles out of 10, you're not any good. That's what people want you to believe. That's what people want you to believe, is that if you won 4 titles out of 10 times in the finals, not his whole career, because people act like your career doesn't happen unless you make the finals. Like LeBron, this is his 21st season. He's made the finals 10 times out of 21. So 11 other times he wasn't in the finals. People act like those years don't even count. They have to count. It's like Jordan. He won 6 titles. He played 15 years. Those other 9 seasons don't count. Yes, they do. They do. But even at that, it's almost like, Jiminy Christmas. Like, what are we doing here? So it doesn't matter. So if you lose in the finals, you're terrible. But if you win, you're great. If you don't make it, that doesn't matter. I can't make sense of it, people. I really can't. I really can't. So I just can't. And then we got people like Maurice. So LeBron isn't any good because he didn't want to be in the slam dunk contest. And I admit, LeBron doesn't want to be in the slam dunk contest because he's afraid he's going to lose. But that doesn't mean you're not a good basketball player? Or are we just nitpicking over nothing? Because I believe we're nitpicking over nothing. I don't know. Whatever. How about he made the All-Star time 20 times? Or All-Star game 20 times? We won't talk about that, though. We're not going to bring that up. But we're talking about All-Star games. Maurice, again, my guy on YouTube, my man on YouTube, my man Maurice, just say you don't like him and let it go. Just let it go. That's okay. Here's my man Al Woody. You love Larry Bird? Oh, yeah, you're okay in my book. That's why I follow you. You know what, Al? See, we need more love in here today. We need love in here today. My man David on TikTok said he's good at flopping. He's great, but not the GOAT. Okay. He doesn't have to be. But see, David, that's the thing. People won't just say he's great. Why do you have to say, well, he's not the GOAT? Does it matter? Does he have to be? I guess is the best question. Is it, well, you're not the greatest. Okay. Why can't we just say, hey, I like this guy. He's good. He's great. Well, he's not the greatest. What? Okay. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. You know, people just, it's always, they give you a compliment and then they give you a backhanded slap right after that. But that's society. That's not just anybody individually. That's just society in general. That's where we are. They give you a compliment and then boom, smack you in the face on the way down, man. Ugh. But what are we going to do? Yo, Big B, Jordan has 6 letters. What? Yeah, I'm going to move past that, Julius. We're not doing that. Somebody on TikTok says they love my bald head. You know what? I like that. They like my bald head. Y'all stop being nasty on TikTok. Stop being perverted. I'm a married man. Stop it. All right? Stop it. Do-do-do-do. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, David's just, come on, bro. You can't call somebody great and just say, well, they're not the greatest. Just say they're great and move on. Or don't say anything. People just get so bent out of shape. And no, I don't do it all the time. You're lying. Stop coming in here lying. Stop lying. Exactly. When you give somebody a compliment, for the young people, if you like somebody, for instance, I said Larry Bird's my favorite player on all time. The young guys will come in here. Come on, Big B, stop glazing. Stop glazing Larry Bird. Gee, even Christmas. Can I not like somebody without having to glaze them? Come on, man. Stop meat riding. Oh, my God. I'm telling y'all, though, I'm going to start leaning into it, man. I'm going to start leaning into it. So, complimenting LeBron hurts them. Yeah, it does. It does. Appreciate the gifts, Austin. Yeah, man, I'm going to start leaning into it. It's crazy. You just can't compliment people these days without glazing. Stop glazing. Oh, Lord. So, but what LeBron did last night, man, it was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. So, the guy, whether you think he's the greatest or not, that's fine. But if you're going to deny what you're watching, what you're seeing as being great, it's insane. Now, there was a report that came back or I shouldn't say it was a report. Kevin Garnett went out there and went out of his way to say LeBron was on PEDs. I mean, I don't know whether he is or whether he isn't. If he hadn't failed a drug test, nobody's ever said anything other than some BS report. I don't know. Maybe he is. Maybe he isn't. I don't dive into conspiracy theories. I guess I could. That'd get more likes, more follows, more clicks. But I feel like until we know, why don't we just let it be? Until we have more proof versus KG just spouting off something on a podcast to get more likes, to get more clicks. Versus that, why don't we just do this? So KG didn't make him create a super team. KG created a super team on his own. They created one first. You do know that, right? Or do we not consider 3 Hall of Famers a super team? Because if we don't, okay. But I think we do. And Boston created one because they couldn't beat LeBron. But nobody likes the truth. Nobody likes that truth. So then we got our man Austin here, who says, of course LeBron is on PEDs. NBA is very lax on that stuff. They all are. Who cares? Well, I mean, if everybody is, I don't know how that helps you with load management and the way that guys never play. PEDs are one of the things that help people recover. And guys don't seem to be recovering because they never play. So I would say that's a made-up narrative, Austin. But, oh well. I mean, and if it comes out to be true, it's true. So it is what it is. I'm not getting into it till we get more evidence. Once we get more evidence, I'll be out there front and center. But until we do, let's move on. So Caitlin Clark, breaking records. Man, again, she's breaking more records. Now, she passed Lynette Woodard as far as the all-time leader in NCAA scoring. Well, I guess she's already passed her in NCAA, but they passed Lynette Woodard as far as the league that was associated before the NCAA took over women's basketball. Now, there's another person that's out there, another record, but they're saying she didn't play against, top competition. It's all really weird to me on why they wouldn't just put all the records into one. If you knew that women's basketball was sanctioned by another organization before the NCAA, and then the NCAA ended up taking it over, why wouldn't you incorporate the records too? That doesn't make sense to me. That literally doesn't make sense to me. Like, why wouldn't you just incorporate all the records? I don't know. Whatever. But the bottom line is she's great. I love what she's doing. I don't think she's the best women's basketball player or the best women's college basketball player, but that's okay. Just like I was saying earlier, she can be great. Let her be great. Let her be great. Nothing wrong with her being great. Go do her thing, man. Go do her thing. And everybody either celebrate it or don't celebrate it. Either way, just let her be good. Just let her be good. I like I take that back. I don't know if I like Iowa's team. I don't think that the Iowa basketball team is as bad as what people are saying, though. That's the thing. Everybody says, well, she's carrying this team of nobodies. I don't know that Iowa's a team of nobodies. I know that she is head and shoulders better than everybody else on her team, but that doesn't mean the rest of her team is just garbage. I don't believe that. So, but the one thing I know for an absolute fact, somebody over here on TikTok said she's must-see TV. Absolutely. She is the face of college basketball. Now, I know there's going to be some men that don't like hearing that. There's going to be men out there that, what are you talking about? She's not the face of college basketball. Yes, she is. And I don't mean the face of women's college basketball. I mean, she is the most recognizable face out there in basketball right now. She absolutely is. That doesn't mean there's not others that are super popular, because the first thing what about Angel Reese? Why are you out there disrespecting Angel Reese? Nobody's disrespecting her. Nobody said Angel Reese isn't any good. Nobody said Angel Reese isn't great and she's not recognizable. But there sometimes are levels to it. And right now, Caitlin Clark is that person. Period. It's just the facts. And you all know me, we deal with facts here. So, we deal with facts. Here's the thing. Great on YouTube, a comment by April H. Great does not always equal greatest, and that's okay. There you go. That's a perfect example. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it. She's doing her thing, capitalizing on what everybody is giving her. And she should. But the main thing is, and this was pointed out over on TikTok, there's no marquee men players out there. We see marquee players in football. There's faces, to college football. But in basketball, who's the face? Who's the one person that you run to? Oh, man, that guy's a star. In men's college basketball, who is it? So I don't see that. Now, does that mean that college basketball is not exciting? No, it doesn't mean that. Does that mean that I can't wait or I'm not going to pay attention to the tournament because there's no start? It doesn't mean that at all. But what it does mean is that she happens to be the most popular player going right now. I would venture to say, and you guys can feel free to disagree, she might be the most popular person in college sports right now. Over a football, basketball, is there a more popular collegiate athlete right now than Caitlin Clark? Now, I'm not saying that women's college basketball is more popular. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is there somebody that's more popular than her right now? Somebody said Sanders, but they stink. After they started getting their head beat in, nobody paid attention to Colorado. Nobody paid attention to Colorado. And nobody outside of LA was paying attention to Caleb Williams. Again, their team was terrible. Nobody watched USC. Nobody was paying attention to that. People are watching Iowa because they're winning. Because the one thing I know for a fact, if Iowa was, I don't know, let's say they were 18-10 or 17-12, nobody would be paying attention to Iowa. They would be saying that she's great, that she broke these records on losing teams, and it wouldn't mean as much. Appreciate it, Dylan. Thanks for the gifts, man. That's what people would be saying about her. Instead, people are talking about how good she is, how she's carrying a team. There's a difference. And I think we got to recognize that difference. So that's all I'm saying. Ooh, man. Yeah. My man Jacob over here on YouTube is saying some names. Jacob Dickinson, Armand Baycott, Reed Shepard. None of those are as popular as Clark. Heck, I would venture to say 75% of the country don't even know who you're talking about. That would be the college basketball fans might know who you're talking about. The average person right now knows they've heard Caitlin Clark's name. And there's the difference. So that is the difference. And I don't begrudge it. I love it. Let her go be her and go win. We don't need to have all the comparisons. Comparisons are fun and they can be conversation pieces, but you got to stop doing the comparison thing to try to diminish somebody. Just like I mentioned earlier. You don't have to compare people just to turn around and diminish them. You know. Yes, Julius, I know Rico knows. He's been on here before. He's shown up here before. But yeah, that would be one of the things that we got to stop doing as a society. Stop trying to break the people down just because you don't think they're the greatest. It's fine that they're not the greatest. That's okay. It's okay. Just be great. Let Caitlin Clark live. Let her live, man. Let her live. And you know what? If she's not the best player ever, it'll get proven. Things come to the light. But for right now, just let her be good. Are they going to win the national title this year? I don't know. I think they got a shot. They got a shot because of her. We'll see. We will see. Let's move on. As a reminder, people, Monday through Friday, we are live here on TikTok and we are live on YouTube. 9 a.m. Central Time. Set your reminders. Come on in. Join. Come subscribe over on YouTube. We appreciate everybody coming over and checking us out. Thank you, guys. Again, Monday through Friday, Big B Daily, 9 a.m. Central Time, live on YouTube. Come subscribe to Big B Sports Talk. And on TikTok, come follow us. Give us a follow if you're not following. We need at least 5,000 likes. Keep tapping the screen. And at least 5,000 likes and at least 30 new follows. So if you're in on TikTok and not following, please give us a follow. Let's move on, man. So last topic, are the 49ers, are they going to suffer a Super Bowl hangover? Let's get into that. Do we think, as many people, myself included, that bashed on Brock Purdy, do we think Brock Purdy is going to have the same kind of year next year? Do we think the defense, who struggled in the playoffs, minus the Super Bowl, but struggled, do we think they're going to come back and be the same? Are they going to go without injury? You know, are they going to be able to run the football the same like they were? It's hard to lose a Super Bowl and come back the next year and be very good. We don't see it happen very often. So, what do we think about the 49ers? A lot of people are saying, no, it's not going to happen. A lot of people are saying, look at their roster. Their roster's really good. You know, all that's predicated on how good the quarterback's going to be, though. So I think we got to take a look at the 49ers. You know, Brandon Ayuk, I think, is going to end up getting figured out. I think they're going to end up paying him. They're going to have to do some restructuring to some people because while we all love Deebo Samuels, there's no reason that he's getting paid $19 million. I mean, there isn't. Now, if he's fine for them, but you go put Deebo on some other team, is he worth $19 million? I don't know. And they're going to be missing Greenlaw at linebacker because he's got torn Achilles. Who knows how he comes back? And remember, that didn't happen until February. So I know he's not on the Aaron Rodgers plan of coming back from an Achilles injury, but we'll see what happens when he comes back. I would guess he probably comes back around October to November. So we'll see what they look like next year. But that Super Bowl letdown is a real thing. It's a real thing. They got to upgrade the offensive line. A lot of Niners fans were upset with the offensive line, which is odd because they ran the ball really well. And it wasn't just Trent Green, but they could upgrade the right tackle position. They can upgrade. But for some reason, I just think the 49ers take a step back. I think there's going to be some things that happen. Maybe some of it are out of their control, but I think there's going to be things that happen. Is Purdy, I mean, let's just be honest. Do we think Brock Purdy is going to have the same kind of year? There's going to be a full year of tape. Do we think Brock Purdy is going to be that guy that goes and says, you know what? He's going to go rip the league apart? Because if he has the same kind of year that he had this past season, Brock Purdy's a top 5 quarterback. We do know that. So is that what we're saying? That Brock Purdy's going to be a top 5 quarterback? My man Pat Cockrell says, if the Niners keep their roster, who in the NFC could legit beat them next year? They should be overwhelming favorites to win the NFC. Well, that's not true, Pat. Think about the NFC Championship game. They had their roster this year, and Detroit was bad coaching decisions from beating them. The Packers were even closer than that. The Packers were a bad throw by Jordan Love from beating them. So let's not act like the 49ers are just unbeatable football team, because that's not true. We saw it with our own eyes. We saw them struggle in the playoffs. So on TikTok, my man Will Keith says, I think Brock is the perfect system QB. Not in a bad way. Yeah. But the system's got to be working on all cylinders. Because just a little bit, you saw it when Trent Williams wasn't there and when McCaffrey wasn't there, he struggled. When Deebo was out a few games, he struggled. So now here's the one thing that a lot of people aren't going to like me saying. Brock Purdy can also get better. They think that once you get into the NFL that, this is what you are, you'll never get better. That's not true. Brock Purdy can get better. He can start to do things better. Read defenses, process information. He can do that. Now, does somebody go from having an average arm to this Dan Marino arm? No. So I'm not saying his arm is going to get better, but it means that they can get better. So I think Brock Purdy can get better. Will he? I don't know. Did he just lean on his roster to be as good as he was? Maybe. Or was it him? Was it the play calling? These are all questions that I've got about Brock Purdy and the 49ers. These are all questions because, look, I know it's a cliche, but the Super Bowl hangover is a real thing. Hell, we saw it with Philadelphia. Now, Philadelphia wasn't that good. They were winning a lot of those games early on in the season, playing bad football, but they found ways to win, and then their season completely fell apart. Completely fell apart. And they didn't have the cachet to come back. Hey, man, we're Super Bowl champs. We can do this thing. They didn't have that. They just fell apart. So, 49ers, can they make it work? Can they be better? I don't know. Somebody said the Falcons are still hungover. Yeah. Yeah, think about the Falcons. The Falcons haven't recovered. Lord have mercy. 28-3, and they still are drunk. Man. They got their owner coming out saying they thought that Desmond Ridder was a better option at quarterback than Lamar Jackson. That's how hungover the Falcons are. So the Super Bowl hangover can last a year or it can last 5. Who knows? Who knows with the 49ers? Let's get into it, man. Let's move on. Let's get into the Q&A section of this. Again, as a reminder, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Time, Big B Daily is live on YouTube. If you're not subscribed on YouTube, please come and subscribe to Big B Sports Talk. And we're also live on TikTok. TikTok, keep tapping the screen. We're over the 5,000 like mark. Well, let's get to 8. Let's see if we can bump that up to 8. We want to get as many people in here as possible. But also, if you're not following on TikTok, give us a follow, man. We appreciate it. And you can click on the YouTube link and come right into the live. That's in my bio. So let's do that. So let's see. What else do we got going on? Kenny Pickett. There are a bunch of Steeler fans that are on the baby hands Pickett bandwagon. I am over baby hands Pickett. As a diehard Steelers fan, I can't take it. I can't take I'm over it. And I'm changing my mind. I know you're going to say, Big B, what are you talking about? I would rather have Russell Wilson than Justin Fields. I'm going to say it. I'd rather have Russell Wilson than Justin Fields. Now there's going to be people say, man, you're crazy. You're wrong. What are you talking about? I would just rather have that. I think Russell Wilson can still play football. I think Russell Wilson's got something to prove. And I would rather have him than I would rather have Justin Fields. Now, Justin Fields might be better in the long run. I don't know. But I think Russell Wilson's still a good quarterback. I do. My man, Maurice. Yes, Maurice. Terry Bradshaw. He loves Kenny Pickett. Oh, my God. And then he said, oh, well, you got to surround him with weapons. Well, hold on a second. But, I mean, they had Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, Pat Freiermuth, Najee Harris, Jalen Warren. How many more weapons do you want? I mean, Jiminy Christmas. The man started 11 games and threw 6 touchdown passes. No. Stop it. I'm out on baby hands. I'm out. So, that was Austin says, what do you think about the franchise grades yesterday? Steelers were last and near to last on facilities and ownership. Yeah. Yes. Time for Dan to take the wheel from Art. Yeah. Yes. I mean, there's certain things. Players are the ones that are coming back and saying all this stuff. So it's not like this is being voted on by the media. This is what the players are saying about the franchise. So go fix it. Hell, the Chiefs in ownership, they gave the Chiefs an F. And I thought Clark Hunt was pretty good. I'm like, come to find out, they just now started getting chairs in the locker room. They just had stools in the locker room. So I don't know. Maybe that's a thing. I don't know. Don't know. April H. Will you have March Madness bracket daily updates? Absolutely can't wait for the tournament. You know what? I'm going to work with my guy today. We are 100% going to have a Big B daily. I don't know what we're going to call it yet. But we're definitely going to have a Big B bracket challenge. Now, the thing is, are we going to have it? Is it going to be a Big B daily challenge or bracket challenge? Or is it going to be the Goon Squad bracket challenge? I don't know. What do you guys think? Should it be Big B bracket challenge? Or should it be Goon Squad bracket challenge? I'm not sure. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the tournament. And the teams that I love aren't even going to be in it. Kansas State and Louisville, they're not making the tournament. So I like it. I like it. So, So David Gonzalez says that's an entitlement ranking. Tells you which players feel the most entitled. The most entitled to having good food? Or making you pay for food? So I'm entitled because my franchise charges me for lunch and dinner when I'm forced to be there? Huh. And they have a cafeteria. That means you're entitled. I got it. Wow, boy. Man, I knew people didn't like athletes, but now they're entitled because my owner isn't doing the right stuff or the training staff isn't up to snuff. We have poor, like the strength and conditioning coach isn't any good. But that makes me entitled? Man, it is rough out there for athletes. I mean, they just catch strays from anybody this week. Al Woody says, call it madness, no fraud. Nah, I don't know. I don't know about that one, my man Al. Goon Squad bracketology. That sounds good. Goon Squad bracketology. I can get down with that, people. I can get down with that. So, if we call it the Goon Squad bracketology. We're going to come up with a name. We're going to come up with something. We're going to come up with something for sure. But we're definitely going to have something because I can't wait for this tournament to start. Who's going to win? I don't know. Do we want it to be like last year? You know, last year we basically had UConn and then 3 teams that had, that weren't blue blood or super popular. It was Miami, Florida Atlantic, and San Diego State. Do we want that again? Or do we want a North Carolina, Kansas, Kentucky, and Duke? What do y'all think? So I'm just trying to figure out. Do we want it or do we want a mix? Do we want a mix of the two? So I'm not sure. I think last year was okay, but I think I would like a mix. Give me 2 blue bloods or traditional powers and 2 teams that are not traditional powers. I think I could settle for that. So that's what I like. That's what I think I would like. So, but either way, we're going to shut this one down for the day, people. I appreciate everybody being here and taking the time to show up. Again, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Time. We appreciate everybody that joins. If you're on TikTok, please give us a follow. If you're not following already, thank you guys. And if you're on YouTube, please subscribe. Everybody do yourselves a favor or do me a favor and spread the word. Tell everybody about us. We will be back tomorrow. Aloha.